Okay, anglers, we are back for another starter kit on a new lake, and this is going to be Lake Castaic, probably known in some circles as the trophy bass capital of the United States. People think that the next record is going to come out of this lake. I know they caught like a 21-pound, 12-ounce beast years ago, I think in the 90s, so the next record's probably in here. But anyhow, so you come off this main road, and I know you come down this road here. You have to go through a gate, and a lot of times the boats stack up in the morning, and you have to get through this gate. It's a paid gate, and then you come in here and park, and then launch your boat, of course, and then come up here and pull your trailers. Multiple truck and trailer spots up here, which is really nice. Castaic has a really nice dam. Most of the shore fishing and the best shore fishing at Castaic at the upper lake is probably going to be from the dam. So that is a great place if you want to throw your lures, throw out your anchovies, and fish whatever you want to fish. It's a lot of good videos, I think, on stripers and everything caught there. So we head over this way. I know there's another boat ramp over here, and I think a lot of the pleasure boaters use this one as opposed to the other one. This is basically the skiing arm, and over here is the fishing arm in this lake. So they've got it figured out pretty well. So I'll go to a overhead view real quick. But this lake basically was opened in 1972, and they stocked it with Florida strain largemouth. And like I said, the reputation is it's going to get a lot of big fish. There's probably more 10-pounders pulled out of this lake than any lake in California. So just scanning down here, there's a lot of different fish you can catch in this lake: striped bass, trout, bluegill, crappie, trout. And that's what makes this lake so great, is they stock it with trout. And that's why the fish, the largemouth and the striper, get so big, because they put plenty of bait in the lake, which is fantastic. So you can catch a nice big largemouth on a big imitation rainbow trout bait. Tons of shoreline here to fish, just everywhere you look. It's just a very well-rounded lake. And what also makes this lake special is it's filled up via the California aqueduct, which comes from the San Joaquin Delta. And there's Sierra Nevada snow mixed in, and it's full of nutrients. So there's lots of other bait like shad and crawdads and all kinds of stuff in this lake. So it's a very nutrient-rich lake, which is really good for fishermen. And Castaic is actually two lakes. You've got the upper lake and then the lower lagoon, which we'll look at in a little bit here. But this lake can get, I think it can be up to 330 feet deep, which is no small task. That's a deep lake. So we'll start looking at some spots here in a minute. Just want to cover some more information. Lake Castaic also supports a big population of smallmouth, although not as nearly as big as the largemouth, but definitely a population. But you can have a very good chance of catching 3 to 5 pound largemouth all day long in this lake, which is really great. And most of the really big largemouth are caught in March around the spawn times. Pre-spawn and post-spawn is how I'm understanding this lake. So other forage is crawfish, which they love, and you obviously want to use diving crankbaits and jigs, soft plastics, soft jerk baits, grubs, worms. They all pretty much work. You probably definitely want to use, during the summer, this lake gets a lot of pressure. So you probably definitely want to use the finesse system, and they recommend robo worms, which are great everywhere. Keep scanning down this lake, you come to like another intermediate dam. Obviously can't go past this, but I'm going to just kind of keep on going by here for a minute to show you something, which is all the piping down here that fills up this lake. So this is really interesting, and it's so fascinating. Let's get to one of the first real popular spots for largemouth bass, and we're going to get to it here in just a minute. Just like to scan this for you. This Necktie Canyon, I've heard a little bit about it, but it wasn't like marked for anything special, but I'm sure there's fish in there. First one's Owl Canyon. That one comes up with fishermen all the time. This is supposed to be really good for bass, and it's really no wonder because of the shape. You've got this long cut in here, and then you've got some points. So I bet you these points are really good. And also, depending time of year, this canyon can be really good as well. And also, Slalom Cove comes up time and time again for this lake for good fishing. So you definitely want to try that out as well. But again, this all looks fishy. Another one that comes up I've marked here is Bone Creek Cove. Same thing. I bet you in March when they move back and they spawn up in all these little cuts and coves, I bet you it's really good fishing. Looks like we got some underwater submerged items here, trees, bushes, all kinds of good stuff to fish. It just looks like a fantastic lake. I mean, you have to have a boat. And again, this is the ski arm. This gets a lot of attention, Sea Point, for fish. So I'm sure this juts out, in a pattern like this, and the fish hold on that. Sharon's Rest is pretty popular from the reading I've done. Looks like a nice little cove area. And you got some nice little points. You probably got submerged trees. There's a lot of rocks and cliffs and all kinds of stuff in this lake, which give largemouth a lot of places to hide. I mean, just look at this. This looks really good. And they say, like I said, they say the world record's in this lake. So imagine that. Red Clay Cove. Can you imagine catching a 21 or a 23-pound largemouth? Holy moly. It'd be like an oil can with fins. So Red Clay Cove is really good. I mean, that looks real good. You get back in there with your trolling motor, especially in the spring. And then Elizabeth Canyon comes up time and time again. This whole canyon back here, supposedly real good. And that's the other. This Castaic Creek can fill up the lake a little bit in the winter or in the spring when they get runoff. It's not contribute hugely to the water fill up on this lake, but it does. And then Dry Creek Gulch is another one. This arm right here. That's really good. So I would say, like anything, you just use your equipment to kind of locate them. Scan areas if you don't know the lake. Use all your electronics first. But wow, this lake looks good. It's not very big either, which is great. You can cover a lot of, you might even be able to fish it in a whole day, depending. I'd probably go during the weekday, especially in the summer if you can, to avoid all the crazy boaters. Probably going to be your best opportunity. And then we just kind of meander on back to the boat ramp here. Then let's just take a look down here at this lower lagoon. There's supposedly some really big fish in this lower lagoon. And this is a non-motorized lagoon, electric motors only from what I understand. And there is a lot of shore fishing here, a lot better than the upper lake from the reading I've been doing. So this looks really good too. Anglers, check this out. And I know a lot of big fish have been caught from shore here. So this is the mighty Lake Castaic. And it sure looks good. It sure looks super, super good. I'm definitely going to get down there. I'll probably bring my kayak. This seems like a really good kayak lake. Launch over here and then just hit all these areas back in here. So, hey, I hope this helps out. Again, this is just a starter to get you going on Lake Castaic. It's not meant to be comprehensive, but I really appreciate you watching. And again, bring your whole arsenal and just figure out time of year, water temp, all those things that matter in bass fishing. Sunny, windy, cloudy, it all makes a difference. And good luck, man. I hope you catch the next world record. And we'll talk to you next time.